Good morning and welcome to another show on We Are the South Stand. Sorry, let me get a drink. Should have done that first. So, excuse the floppy hat. It's floppy as hell. I'm feeling I might wear it like this. And then I think you can all call me, you can all refer to me as Captain Dap Sparrow. Put these on. I'm Captain Dap Sparrow with specs. Now, is someone pulling me up already? Have I spelt them wrong? Have I? I'll go and check that now. Thank you for making me aware. Have I spelled it wrong? Yes, I have. Right. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. That will be amended very quickly. Thank you, David, for bringing that to my attention. Unfortunately, I'm thick as hell and can't type properly. But there we go. That is done. No longer is it Aston Villa. Right. We are back. Let me get StreamYard back up. Right then. So I haven't got anyone joining me this morning. Morning, Riku. Morning, David. Thank you for bringing it up. People, as Riku says, like the stream ASAP. Going to start off the show with just some admin. I'm going to call it admin on the channel. Yesterday, after... Yeah, it's bummy spelling. I'm going to go through the comments shortly, but yesterday after the great show with We Are 1894, Steve and I had a quick chat, and he mentioned to me that that someone had commented in his on his own channel saying Steve or Steve and people, not Steve's. Firstly, it said people don't bother watching We Are the South Stand because if you make any comments they disagree with, they just get you just get blocked and removed. They then said to Steve, yeah, your channel's not going to grow if you keep doing this. So Steve made me aware, and I was like, well, I'm not blocking anyone. So I went into the back end to pause to have a look at kind of blocked users, and I, no word of a lie, came across nearly 300 blocked users. And there were some people in there that I was like, how the hell is this guy blocked? I mean, there's one called Tony Quizzer. Hold tight, Tony. Tony is a lifelong Manchester City fan, big supporter of Never a Foul, big supporter of We Are the South Stand. And I would like to say a big supporter of myself as well, to be honest with you. He's always shown nothing but love. And he's a real old school City fan. And to see him blocked made me think, Jesus, we're not doing this right. So, firstly, to all the moderators, I appreciate every single thing you do for us. You are trying to make this channel a better channel. You're trying to moderate it, and that is right. We want everyone in the comments to feel comfortable. However, I only want people to be timed out or blocked if they are, if someone is here and let's say we have Martin on the show and someone's here just not talking about football, just giving Martin absolute abuse, right? Personal abuse. Block them, remove them. 100%. That is what I'm fully in support of. But looking through the names, I could tell it's quite a lot of rivals. And look, if there's rivals in or even City fans with different opinions to us, yeah, Ricky, you're saying it. I've seen some comments that aren't even negative or anything get deleted, which isn't right. Yeah, 100%. Look, we need people in the comments to make points that differ to those that we make, whether it be me as a host, whether it be panel members. We need people to play, whether it be playing devil's advocate, or whether it's they completely disagree with us. That is what we need. This is a Manchester City channel for all Manchester City fans, and it's a YouTube channel for rivals as well to watch as well, because a debate is what this channel is about, right? We need good football debates. That's what football YouTube is about, right? It's debates. If there are not debates, then ultimately the channels do not exist. So moderators, don't take this like it's me giving you a bashing or anything like that. Pause. I love all the work you do for us, but please, please, please. I even looked at, the keywords that were in there, and some of the keywords that have been put in there were mental. So I've unblocked most people. There's one or two that I've kept blocked because I know why they're blocked. There's one or two spam. Well, there's a lot of spam accounts. Saeed's Wrigley Head was Saeed's Wrigley Bald Head, I think, was one. CFC Don. So yeah, please keep up the great work, mods. But if someone disagrees with me, then I'm here to have them kind of change my mind on things. And I've spoke about this before. This season, I've definitely had to change my mind on a few things. So yeah, that's the admin out of the way. 56 of you in here. The likes are on 28, 58. Sensational work, people. Brilliant. We've got a high ratio. That's brilliant. And I've just seen we've had a super chat come in from Mr. Sir Alan Pep Mancini. Big up, Daps. Come on, City. Nothing but love as always. And today I am Captain Daps Sparrow. That is my name. Right. So what have we got to talk about today? We do have a big game to talk about, 100%. By the way, if you see me looking that way, it's because although I have a screen in front of me, the sunlight is so much on the screen that I literally can't read the screen. So I'm having to look here to read the screen. We have got a very big game to talk about tonight. Massive game. Even more of a bigger game after last night's game. Anyone watch last night's game? Anyone in the comments? In fact, let me go through the comments and give a few shout outs. So as I said, shout out to David Foster, who is Aston Villa. That's been sorted out. Sub, can I call you Sub or should I call you Basu? Or can you write how I can pronounce your name? Because I can butcher any word and I don't want to butcher your name. But good morning, big up Blues. Ricky already said good morning. Yes, Leon, top of the morning, Daps. Everyone, well, the sun is shining and we need 3 points tonight. Sure, there is plenty to digest. The KDB saga is turned into an Aguero version 2.0. I agree with you. And just to throw something else in the mix, Bernardo's now up in the mixer as well. Steve Black, always showing love. Jarvis is here. Yep, absolutely high-pressure game. Mark Fogg in the building as well. Morning, Daps. Hope you're well. I am well. Do you know, I've been up again since 7. Me and Cass have been doing some artwork for a later show. Just to let everyone know, I've got a later show tonight, today, at roundabout. So, firstly, I'm going to be on Never a Foul with the usual panel between 12 and 1. Then I am going to be on with LB on his channel. It's LB from 1:30 till round about 2:30, 2:45. And then round about that time, 2:45, we will be back on We Are the South Stand. Myself, Tone, and we have Josh, who is a massive Aston Villa fan, runs a big Villa channel. He's going to be over with us to digest the game tonight. Anyone else say hello to? Dash, good morning, as always. Good morning, Rockstar in the building. How can you join the stream with me, Ayuk Divine? I mean, if you want to join the stream with me, I will put the link in there. Give me 2 minutes. Just going to go through this. See if there's any other mornings. Yes, Adam, what you're saying. Good morning to you. Yes, Taurus. Morning, bro. Morning. Morning, Linny. Yeah, I think I know who it was that was blocking everyone, to be honest with you. So, morning. Yep, early. Do you know what? We go... I go early round about this time most mornings, just for a morning catch up. Good for my mental health, and it's good to get everything off our chest. And as we get into the summer transfer window, it's going to be even more so because there's going to be news every single morning. Morning to Sam Brown. Hey guys, away end at Everton was mint. Absolutely. Listen, I don't know if any of you saw Everton. Everton have recently done a poll of the best away fans, and City topped it, which I wouldn't agree with more. So, morning, Lee. Your other Gmail account was blocked. Yeah. So if you go and look on it now, it won't have been blocked. I've gone through and I've unblocked over 200 people. So nothing but big apologies from me, from Steve. To be fair, I probably should have been monitoring the block list a bit more regularly. But yeah, I am going to be monitoring a lot more now. So if anyone does get blocked, I'm going to be probably doing it daily to make sure that the names that I know shouldn't be blocked aren't getting blocked. Right. Let me just get that link. Where am I going to? I'm going to StreamYard, and I. Right. And the one thing I would say, I'm going to share the link for if anyone wants to join me. But the one thing I would say is to join me on the stream, you must have your camera on for the whole time. It can't be a turn camera on, turn. I want your camera on the whole time. And of course, you'll need a microphone. But the most important thing is camera on. Right, guess, copy. To join, that's on stream. In your, I'm going to pin that as well. I'll go on you. In fact, one of the mods, could you? I don't know if mods can pin it. Actually, let me pin it 1 second. Where did I put it? Where is it? There we go. I'll pin that to the top as well. So if anyone wants to join me, they can do. As I say, cameras must be on. Yep, I've got my glasses. So I said, this is Daps, usual Daps. Daps Sparrow. Daps Sparrow, the four-eyed wanker. There you go. So that's who you've got now. So one bit of news I did see this morning is Verts apparently has come out and said that he's very impressed with how much. What's this? Anyone see Fabrizio video? No, Morgan Gibbs White City. Yeah. We've got Dash here already. Brilliant. Let me just grab my headphones. Can't be Dap Sparrow no more, can I? I've got to put my hat down a bit. Never mind. But add you in. You are here. We can hear you. I just need to give a second layout. Morning, bro.
Morning. All good?
Yeah, and yourself?
I just woke up now to stream.
This isn't Dash that's one of the mods, is it?
No, this is one of the mods, yes.
All right. You're Dash the mod?
Yeah.
Right, perfect. People, we've got a mod in here. Give him some abuse for blocking people. No, I'm joking. It wasn't Dash. It wasn't Dash. What are you saying? You good?
Yeah. I mean, I'm all right. I think, yeah, like you said, today's game is big,
You
especially
nervous?
yesterday's result. Me, you know what, yeah? I've come to terms with it because we've been that bad this season.
Hold on. What have you come to terms with? We haven't lost yet. What have you come to terms with? Are you nervous?
Not really. And I'll tell you why.
I am, man.
Because, like I said, yeah, I've come to terms with the fact that this season we've been that poor. If we don't deserve Champions League football, then we don't deserve it because of the results that we've been churning out, the performances. I don't think they're Champions League worthy type of contention.
Yeah.
But the big thing is the league this year has been shocking.
Yeah.
Because only Liverpool's competing for the title. I mean, Arsenal were hearing about it in about November, December time. But well and truly, it was done in January. It was just Liverpool just giving them a bit of hope.
Yeah, it was.
So, and even then, Arsenal, 6 points behind Nottingham Forest?
Yeah.
So, I can't really say much.
But we are where we are. Champions League football. So, for me, right, I'll be completely... So, I've got a mate, Mike. He's going to be on a show on Friday. And he's kind of... Right, I go to all European aways with him. He's kind of saying, "Oh, who cares if we don't get Champions League football? It'll be fun to go to some new places if we were in the Europa League." And I kind of said, "Yeah, I look, if we end up in the Europa League, I will embrace that 100%. I'll embrace it, right? But the aim should never be, oh, I hope we get in the Europa League. The aim should always be, but." For a bigger reason for me this season, and this is why I believe tonight is so important, and the rest of the season is so important, is that if we don't get Champions League football, I think that can impact our rebuild. And I hear people say, no, one season out is fine, right? But, we'll be back in. Our pool's big enough.
Yeah.
we want to get Wirtz this summer, right? And I know not everyone is on the Wirtz hype train, but I am personally, yeah. I do think Wirtz is a game changer. Now, if we don't get Champions League football, I do not believe Wirtz comes, right? I just don't believe it, right? Now, there will be other players. Some players will come. Some players will go, look, it's a project. It's their first season out for a while. But I just feel like it could impact our rebuild. So getting Champions League football is a must. Not only so that next season we're back there competing with the best. I think it's equally as important for the future of the club. That if we don't get it, like
I mean, with Champions League football, listen, it's important.
Yeah.
Firstly, I mean, it is important, like I said. But the way that they're viewing the Europa League is like, yes, it can be for one season now, but it can't just be a blip, and it's risky, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
because
that's what I mean. It's risky.
Because Chelsea's done it one time. Yeah.
I mean, but the biggest example to me is Man United, right? And you look at Man United and you look at their drop off. And when United first dropped off, I was saying, everyone, calm down and be careful what you say, because they'll bounce back, right? They haven't. And every season, like the more time you spend out from being an elite club, the more difficult it is to get back there. So I do feel we have to get this summer right. And I think a key catalyst for that is getting Champions League football. And the other thing that's probably made me even more nervous is all the other, like, since we beat Everton, unfortunately, I've kind of seen Newcastle beat Villa. I've seen Chelsea come from behind to beat Fulham. And then I saw Forest last night beat Tottenham, right? So then it's like,
you mean Villa beat Newcastle?
Sorry, Villa beat... No. Sorry, Villa beat Newcastle. Sorry, who did I say? Newcastle beat Villa. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So Villa beat Newcastle, and then see Chelsea... Sorry, who was it yesterday? It was Forest beat Tottenham. And all of a sudden, it's like, right, this is now an important game. Like, it's even more important because everyone else is getting results. And it's, I don't know. Even, I just keep looking at that last game of the season as well and thinking, banana skin. It would be nice to go into that last game of the season knowing that top five football is wrapped up. And that's what I worry about at the moment.
You know what, Daps? And I've been looking at the fixture list. I feel like, yes, today's important, very important. Just don't get beat. But also, I think the Southampton game is important because I don't know if it's the day before or the day after Newcastle and Chelsea play each other.
Right.
So
is it?
that's the last Southampton game. You must get it wrapped up.
Yeah. Southampton game, and that won't be their last home game, will it?
That's their last home game. I mean, I don't know if it's game week 36 or 37, but it's been one of those weeks.
Nah, because I think because I think we played Bournemouth home game week 37, and then we play we played Bournemouth at home game week 37, where I believe everyone in the Premier League is playing at the same time on that game week. And then game week 38, I think is the same thing again, that everyone plays at the same time, and that is against Fulham away. Southampton, we should beat them if we are the city that we hope we are. But look, even, do you know what? Even Wolves, I think we beat Wolves, but
we must.
Well, do you know what? I ultimately, if we don't beat Wolves at home, it does go back to what you said. We don't deserve Champions League football.
Yeah,
it is as simple as that. And however shit that might be. So tonight, Aston Villa, they're in good form, and a lot is being made about their good form. However, their good form is at home, right?
Most of the time, yeah. The away record shocking.
Away from home, yeah. I think that's the one thing that we kind of need to remember. But I can't lie, I'm very nervous. I'm probably more nervous than I was when we played United. And I'm always nervous for derbies.
What's about the overloads that they're gonna implement? The way that what's it called, Onana and Tielemans are operating. This is Rashford and Asensio on the wings. Where did that?
Yeah, it's neither of them.
Oh wow! So what is it?
Right. So first and foremost, it's ultimately us not getting the result. And I do agree with what you said a minute ago. We can't lose.
Yeah,
I do agree with that. A draw today for us is a better result than a draw for Villa, right? A draw for us
yeah,
is an okay result, right? A loss is a bad result, right? A draw is okay. But what I'm worried about, I mean, everything you list, you're right. Villa with the overloads, Villa down the wings, Villa's physicality in the midfield. The biggest issue with all of those is how we line up. That's my nervousness, right?
okay. So
That's what I'm nervous about. And I think probably a lot of us City fans are like that now. We don't know what
yeah,
Pep's going to do.
then the way that they played with Luca Dean and Matty Cash, they bomb up forward.
Yeah.
Would you want a Doctor and Savio link up?
I want wingers on the pitch, right? For
Yeah,
me, the biggest frustration against Man United is for seasons I've seen us pin Man United back in their own half, right? And this season we didn't. Wingers would have pinned them back, especially when you're playing with teams that play with wing backs ultimately, or even fullbacks that bomb
yeah,
forward. The best way to kind of stop them from doing that is pin them back by playing wing backs, playing with wingers. I don't care if it's Grealish and Savio. I don't care if it's Doku and Savio. I don't care if it's Doku and Grealish. I don't care if it's Doku and Bob. I don't care if it's Savio and Bob. I don't care if it's Grealish and Bob. I just want natural wingers on the pitch, right?
yeah.
I don't want to see Bernardo Silva on the right. And now, bro, and the problem is with the announcement that Bernardo might be leaving as well, we're going to do the same thing we're doing with Kevin De Bruyne now and start playing Bernardo every single game. I mean, he already has been, but
Pep's favorite son, eh?
I just worry that we could end up seeing no wingers and then seeing kind of Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, De Bruyne in the middle of the park, right? Or nah. Like Nico Gonzalez must start as well. I'm just that, and this is it. I'm giving all the scenarios of what I worry about, and all of it is down to the team that Pep puts out there. I
Yeah.
worry.
I've got the feeling. I've got the feeling that, and don't get me wrong, I've got the feeling that Foden might play on the wings, and Kevin De Bruyne might be burnt out and start again.
Well,
Because it's such a Pep thing to do against Villa. Because I think last year Jeremy Doku, Foden, on one of the
yeah.
few wide players that started. I know Foden came on the right hand side to him, but he also cut inside as well. So
Well,
I don't know.
Do you know what is giving me a bit of a worry as well? Bear with me. I'm fine. Just finding it now. Put it on the other screen. If I put this over here, share screen. Where are we? Present. Share screen. This worried me.
Oh yeah, I've seen it just 2 minutes before you went live.
This worries me, right? Because, yeah, by the way, sensational piece of artwork. Beautiful to see O'Reilly, Rico, Bob, Foden, McAtee. 5 academy players. Beautiful bit of artwork and something we should be proud of. However, right, when that is the artwork that you're using as a big night at the Etihad, right, that worries me. Yeah. Because
Yep.
I look at these things and sometimes, and it is such a Rafa, 100% a cool picture, but it worries me because when I see players on City artwork, it makes me think, does that mean these players are in the contention to start? And look, O'Reilly, he's earned the place there. Bob, wouldn't be mad at Bob starting. McAtee, he's earned it. Rico, even at right back, I mean, last time he played there, he did a good job. However, a combination of all of them worries me. And of course, Foden, I've been very vocal on Foden. I think Foden should be used off the bench for the rest of the season. I don't think he should be starting games. He's not impacting games. I don't know. And by the way, I'm not saying that this is an indication that they start. I'm talking about my worries. And that
Yeah.
picture, I just saw it just before the show started and thought, oh, please no.
You know what I think of this picture here? And I feel like Foden and O'Reilly will start. I won't be surprised if Rico Lewis starts, but I'd be shocked if McAtee and Bob starts. But when I look at that picture overall, it things are like propaganda because the ticketing situation today, they're
Yeah,
probably using
yeah,
it as an
yeah,
emotional type of attachment towards those local fans saying, "Oh, look at these players, they might start." You know what I mean? They need the support, but it's like, no, it's full of
yeah.
propaganda. And
See this, Daps, you're overthinking this, mate. I'm guilty.
yeah,
100%. I do think I'm overthinking it. I really, really do. I'm just at the moment, I'm just expressing what's going through my mind. And when I saw that picture, I'm thinking, please don't. But this is what's going to happen all day long. I've got a City shirt on at the moment. This has to come off before the game because I can't wear City shirts when we play games because we lose. Right, I'm proper superstitious with so many things. It is cold artwork. Dash, I think you're right. I think it could be very good propaganda. Um,
yeah. I
now,
mean, I mean,
do you go on?
you go on. Sorry.
Do you think they'll
Yeah,
start?
I'm just
Go on, you go. I'm going
go.
to step back.
All right. I mean, the way I've seen it with this post is that, do you think, and then I don't, and this is just my view of it, do you think Pep is just saving some players for Wembley too? Because if you look at against Everton, you purposely bench a lot of, I won't say just starters, but a lot of players that you'd think you get into 11 2 years ago, and
Um,
probably using for Villa.
right. So, I again, this is. Do you know the hardest question is when people say, "Do you think Pep?" Right? I haven't. I don't try and get in Pep's mind. I would like to see De Bruyne rested tonight. I would like to see De Bruyne rested for the Forest game. Um,
Okay.
I think he needs a rest. I think he looked maybe a bit leggy against Everton. And do you know what? The cool thing with De Bruyne is there's no harm having De Bruyne off the bench. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I would.
On to
Yeah,
next point.
that could be that could be it. That could be it.
Yeah.
Right, here's one for you. Jack Grealish. Do you think there's any chance of Grealish starting against his old club?
No. I think I think the communication between Pep and Grealish has gone down massively.
Yeah, yeah,
And the thing is that I blame both sides personally because obviously one, Pep should not sign Grealish as a temple setter because he was a 10 at Villa that had a lot of freedom, either drifted to the line, to the right, to the left, trade, a lot of chances for them, a lot of things over the top. And he's
yep.
reduced Grealish to the left wing spot where you don't get the best out of him. And all you've done is spend 100 million on just slowing the game down when you could have done
Well,
that with enough player for 25 million. I know he offers a lot more Grealish, a lot more, but with left wing is not his position. So
no, I
that's
mean, I think it is unfortunate that the communications broke down because I do think Grealish in an 8 or 10 role at City, most times he's played there, he's looked good there.
yeah, he looked
I mean,
amazing.
I'm never gonna forget the treble season. I think Grealish was one of our most important players in the treble season. Um,
Yeah,
but
he kickstarted us.
yeah, and just his way of dragging players out of position and whatever. But yeah, at the moment it's sad. It's interesting to see what will happen with Jack because he is English quota. We are going to lose some English players this summer. So, but getting that wage off the wage bill would be probably for a player that Pep doesn't seem to have any trust in. I feel like he's going to go right. Next players, we're talking wingers. Doku, do you think Doku should start tonight? If we're playing with wingers, who are you going with? What
Listen,
two wingers?
listen, I'm not Doc's biggest fan, but for getting better today, he needs to start
Yeah,
because he's explosive, he's quick on the ball. Yes, he may not be the best player to link with Haaland because both of them have the same action of running in behind for pass over the top, but Mamouche is different. So him and Mamouche, I think, can correlate better because Mamouche likes to link a lot of link up play
yeah.
compared to what Holland does. I know him and Holland has the same function, but Mamouche is a lot more different because he has link up play, can drop deep into the A position, link up with players. So I think he'll benefit Doku a lot more.
I yeah. Do you know what? Marmouche. I'm just thinking back to the what game was it? Leicester game.
Yeah,
Villa are very different to Leicester. However, I really like the fluidity of the front 3 or 4 there. That was Savio, Marmoush, Doku, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Savio, Marmoush, Doku. I would, yeah, no. See, this is where it's difficult because I would start Doku over Savio. If I had to go with one of the 2 wingers, I would start Doku over Savio. Do you know the only problem? I feel like sometimes against a Leicester team, that's fine with Savio,
Yeah.
Doku, Marmoush. Against a Villa team, it's a bit inexperienced.
Okay, but if you're saying that, then you got to either sacrifice Silva or Foden on the right or left. It may not be a cup of tea, but that's what's going to happen most likely. And I don't like it too, by the way.
I feel like a Foden hater, and people, please never think I'm a Foden hater. I just think Foden needs some time out. I think for the
Yeah,
good of Phil and bring him on as a sub. I'll keep saying it. Phil Foden starting games and then not impacting them and being subbed off is killing his confidence. He'd be
it's
better
not
off
just
coming
that.
on.
Not just the stat that is that it's off condition too, and I think you'll know it a lot more than I do. But his off condition, yeah, limits him from playing the full 90 minutes because it strains a lot of his energy.
Yeah, yeah,
And this is the thing, it's come at the worst time as well because Kevin De Bruyne physically and technically has declined massively. Foden has this health issue off the field that's impacting him on the field.
yeah,
And then the only 10 you could really say, or 2 10 I should say you really got is McAtee and Grealish. And Grealish is one having problems too. And McAtee's in limbo because he
do you
don't
know
want to
what?
stay here. Yeah.
Do you know what? Oh, right.
Because,
How about right? So O'Reilly on the left, Vardy or Diaz centre backs,
yeah,
right back Nunes,
yeah.
Nico Gonzalez, Kovacic, Gundogan.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't going to say Gundogan. I was going to say Grealish, right? But I'm
Yeah,
just because I was going to go with the front 3 of Marmoush, Doku, and Savio, right? But then, and the reason why I say that would work is if you have Kovacic and Gundogan in the middle, then that's your experience. And I think against Leicester,
okay.
I think it was Gonzalez, Gundogan, Grealish.
Yeah,
So Grealish or Kovacic. Sorry, no. Gonzalez and Kovacic, I would start, and then it would either be with Grealish or it would be with Gundogan. And I just think, like you said, probably go with Gundogan from the experience point of view. Rife saying, what about Kuzanov? Where would you be? So, question to you is, where are you playing Kuzanov? Because
First of
me
all,
personally,
yeah,
I'd
go on.
I'd play Kuzanov, and this is to Rafe. Sorry, I would play Kuzanov as a right back, right? However, Pepin playing him as a right back, so it seems to be like one of those things. There's no point in me saying, as far as what about Kuzanov? Kuzanov's mint, but he's
Yeah.
not over Vardy or Diaz at the moment. He's not, yeah. So I would play him at right back. I just can't see Pep doing it.
Yeah, first of all, these Kusanov rumors are crazy because you're a shampoo, yeah? Say less. Second of all, uh, I don't think Pep will start. I mean, I would like him to start centre back, in my humble opinion, because I think Gavardi or Diaz need a bit of rest before the Wembley game. But if you look at the back line, it's been very stable for the past, what,
Yeah,
6, 5, 7 games ish.
yeah.
So if we, and this is the thing where we cried about at the start of the season, there's no centre back stability or partnership form. It's just either Akanji Stones, Akanji Simpson Puzai, or Diaz and Stones, Diaz and Akanji. It's just there's no chemistry created whatsoever, and we finally got with O'Reilly on the left, Gavardio and Diaz with a wonderful partnership together
Yeah.
with Nunes. So if you want to do it, fine, but just know you're going to risk that relationship a lot more.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
Pep doesn't usually what's it called? Change formations, change players near to the end of the season. He only tinkers with his attack in some parts of the
yeah,
midfield. Mostly, he never tinkers with his goalkeepers and the defenders.
yeah. Sorry, just this question. Like Shima, what's the meaning of experience, age, or game experience? I don't quite know. I mean, the meaning of game experience and age, experience, age, or game experience is. I mean, a great example was yesterday. To be fair, the Nottingham Forest game in about so Tottenham got one back to make it 2-1. In about the probably 92nd minute, a younger Nottingham Forest player got the ball and started heading towards the goal. Right, Tottenham won the ball back. That was inexperience, right? That's game inexperience. Like at 2-1, where it's a must-win game for Nottingham Forest, you don't do that. An older Nottingham Forest player then won the ball back off of Tottenham and headed straight to the corner, right? And a great example of that is Jack Grealish against Real Madrid in Jack Grealish's first season, at a point where we were still going through. Grealish tried to go for a goal to get to score for us, right? He hit the post. They went to the other end and they scored, right? A season later, I saw Jack Grealish get a ball in a similar position. He went straight to the corner flag. And they're just the little things that, bit of experience. You need experience. You have, for me, you have to have a balance. I think that's where we've gone wrong this season. We've got no balance whatsoever.
Yeah.
I do.
Maturity.
Yeah, it's football maturity. It's a football brain. The fact is, it's a football brain. Like, you can have all the best skills in the world, but if you haven't got a football brain, that's why I do think you have to have a balance. You can be technically amazing, but if you don't have a football brain in vital games, sometimes you can make big errors. Actually, just quickly, any chance of Echeverri starting today?
Oh God. I mean, listen. I think people forget about one thing with Echeverri. It's the fact that throughout the time I've ever played, and the manager Marcelo Dorado, he's been playing injured. And even in the youth tournaments, he's been playing with 60, 70%. In the last game, I think it's against Colombia or Uruguay, someone correct me, he played with injured.
Yeah.
So when he comes to Manchester, he's not going to start straight away because he's injured.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, you don't want to strain him, his hamstrings, his ligaments, or whatever it is at that age. And this is why Pep probably put him on the sidelines. The fact that he probably told him, listen, you've been playing injured for 6, 7 months. It's not going to be good for the development. I'm not going to hate it. I'm going to put you on the sidelines. But for your own good, you must do. Yes, turn for training, first team training, maybe go on the reserves here and there. Watch us for a long time, and you'll gain experience of many players on that training ground. But for now, just go onto the training ground, improve yourself on your physical aspect, and then for the club World Cup, we'll play you there, and you get to show us who you are, basically.
Yeah, 100% agreed. And you are right. We did start, by the way, Kuzanov at right back against Vinicius.
Yeah.
But again, we have to remember at these times we were being forced into certain lineups because of players and probably his pace. I don't know. Look, I would love to see him. I would absolutely love to see Kuzanov start at right back. I just can't see it happening, unfortunately. Right, anything else? Right, let me get your take on the De Bruyne and Bernardo situation. Let's start with De Bruyne.
You mean outgoing wise?
Yeah.
Oh God, I've been in spaces, and the amount of and it's just my opinion, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a good amount. There's a good amount of hypocrisy around it.
Yeah.
Because everyone that says they want ruthlessness, they want to be ruthless like Chelsea, like Madrid. And listen, I said it too. I want to be ruthless too, but you can't get two-sided. You can't get both things.
Yeah.
Like you can't be one or the other. De Bruyne has decreased massively in physical and technical ability over the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Before the Crystal Palace game, which was, by the way, amazing. Before that, when was he that type of level of performance? A very long time ago.
Yeah.
Probably what, Newcastle-ish? Because after that,
which Newcastle game are you meaning?
The one for the 3-2, the one we came back from.
Right. This is the truth, right? People forget the back end of last season, Kevin De Bruyne was not good. The back end of last season, De Bruyne was getting subbed off against Liverpool, subbed off against Arsenal. He came back came on as a sub against Newcastle, impacted the game and showed what he could do, right? But then after that, he has dropped off. And this is the thing that confuses me, when he has one good game and now all of a sudden it's kind of, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the club have done. I will be critical. If what De Bruyne has said is right, the club haven't managed it correctly, right? They haven't. But we don't know how the club, like, I don't know. I just think when people are saying we should give him a 2-year contract, I think a 2-year extension, I don't know what world they're living in.
Listen, this is the thing, yeah, and I get it because we're all attached to him emotionally. So so obviously we're going to react differently when news like this comes out. But if De Bruyne going to City and said,
Yeah.
"I want 400k on the same term on the bench role," if he doesn't mind, then it's really ludicrous because I'd rather have that 400k go to someone else, like a what's it called, a Baina, a Cherokee. Well, probably not Cherokee, but maybe half of it. But you get what I mean. Is that you've got, and this is the thing, whether it was bad communication or not, he had to do what he had to do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like we don't get a say in this, unfortunately, because the board will do what they have to do to make sure that they do the benefit of the club. They did it with David Silva, they did it with Aguero, they did it with company. Many players have gone by. For
Zabaleta.
me, Kevin De Bruyne, Zabaleta. So yeah,
every
exactly.
season, Fernandinho. Do you know what? There's a whole thing that I've spoken on this so many times. Our club used to, every single season, they would allow a legend, in my eyes, what I deem as a legend, someone that has put in an absolute shift for Manchester City, right? And I'm talking 7 to 10 or 11 years of service, and nothing like, just been an exemplary player. They allow them to go on a free contract as a kind of, do you know what? Thank you for your service. We're not going to try and get you to sign 1 more year so we can sell you and make some money on you. No, you go and you get your last big payday, right? As a human being, right? Or last big payday as a footballer, let's say. And I've always thought it's worked well for us, and I think that's something we've taken the eyes off the ball for. Now, when I've asked people, what do you expect us to do? What a few people have said to me is, well, offer De Bruyne 200 grand a week, right? And tell him you'll be. But for me, I think that's disrespectful because, and it puts him in a situation then, because if he's being offered, which I presume he's being offered round about 400,000 a week, yeah, plus a fuck off signing on fee for all these other clubs, right? If we come in and say, here, I'll just extend your contract so we'll give you 200 grand a week. He loves City. So then he's going to be there. And right now would not be a good time to do that, by the way, because then he's going to be in his head thinking, right, what do I do? Do I go for the money or do I stay with City? I honestly think it hasn't been managed right, maybe, and that there should have been better communication on it. But I think it is the right thing. It is the right thing.
You know what with De Bruyne as well, yeah? And this is what people not factor in. He wants to play games. He doesn't want to sit on the bench as well. He wants to play the whole 90 minutes. Like, this is the thing, De Bruyne, and this is why I think of him as a bit delusional in that aspect, because he knows he's got these injuries. And I get it with football at the end of their tenure. They think they can do more. But deep down, he understands that any given moment in the next 5 games, he could have his hand room off again.
100%. And then he's not getting no move.
Exactly
that. And also there is the thing of, like, most of our fans are great, but I don't want to see our fans turn on Kevin De Bruyne in a season's time like they turned on Kyle Walker. I don't want to see that, right? And that could happen. And I don't care what I don't. And Gundogan, bro, Gundogan. Do you know what? Yeah, Kyle Walker and Gundogan, who I don't care what anyone says, are 2 legends to me. You go and look at our best era. Both Kyle Walker's been a phenomenal servant. Gundogan, 2 club captains as well, by the way, and they've been turned on. So this is a thing that people go, no, they won't turn on Kev. I didn't think they'd turn on Gundogan. I didn't think they'd turn on Kyle Walker, right? But they have. So who knows? I think Do you know what? I'll be honest. I've even seen people calling out Kevin De Bruyne this season, so it would happen.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Bernardo. This one surprises me a bit more.
I mean, with Silva, we always known he wanted to go back to Benfica for a very long time, or at least in some point in his late 30s or mid 30s. The thing with that is that I think the Benfica president came out, I think it was yesterday or a week ago, and he said that they can't afford Silva's, what's it called, release clause of 50 million and the wages of that he has, because I think when Renato Sanchez went from Bayern Munich to Benfica, he's on 130k per week.
Well,
So
that was a mad echo.
Wow. But yeah, like I was saying, 130k per week.
Sorry, Riku. I don't know what the setups. I don't know what's going on, but every time we add you, yeah, there's a crazy echo, bro. I don't know. Hello. Yeah. Riku, there's a crazy echo. Echo. Yeah, I don't know if he even knows that he's here or not, but yeah. So Bernardo Silva, are you happy with it? Are you happy with the announcement?
I mean, obviously, it's not confirmed just yet. It's from a Belgian source. He's very top reliable, by the way. But I don't know about European news all over. But he's reliable for Belgian player news, etc. But if it is fully true that the border told him he's going out, then listen, thank you for his services. I know I've clowned him this year by calling him the Portuguese Hornswoggle, a reference to WWE superstar. But I do it out of love. But the thing with Silva is that I knew it was coming because last season, and I've said this quite early, and I got a bit done for. I said Silva's not looking it. I can see that his abilities are going down, and I said even then, if he gets enough rest, do you think he'll be the same player as before? Do you think he can add anything on the ball? And this is the main question: is that he doesn't look as confident on the pitch if you look at it, because with Silva, you'd know that he has to take players on, go into half spaces, manipulate the ball a lot more. These days, he's just recycling it back to the goal, back to the defenders.
Yeah. Do you know what? So Bernardo Silva is in this current squad. In this current squad, up until this season, Bernardo Silva was my favourite Manchester City player. Right, I just love him. I love his work rate. I love how he gets the hate for the Scousers. I love how determined he is. I love his banter with the squad. He's an integral part of that era, right? That era.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're coming out of that era. He was an integral part of that squad, and for that reason, I'll be honest, I've probably defended him and had more faith in him this season. If someone goes and looks at my preferred lineups I've put on Instagram over this season, you'll see Bernardo's often in it, right? Because I'm just thinking, nah. Bernardo, he's the engine. He's not as old as Gundogan. He's not as old as De Bruyne. He's still got it there. Over recent weeks, I've really, really, really been watching him, and it's got to the point where I'm like, nah, it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah. Listen, I know he's an icon for all of us. And even then, remember the 2021 season for our first Champions League final, and he was on the bench most of the time. I love the fact that he bounced back from that the next season after. And it was integral part for the obviously our route.
Do you know what? That I know exactly what you mean, because so I always remember that. He had a great first season for us, Bernardo. I'm pretty certain it was his second season, wasn't it? Right?
No, first two good seasons, by the way.
Was it
two good
seasons, right? But then in one season, it was round the time when Mendy. Remember the thing with him and Mendy, where him and Mendy were really, really close, but he said something and he made a comment.
He likes racing movies,
that could have, or emojis that could have been seen as racist, right? And you could see it hurt him. You could tell it really hurt him, because it was like his friend, and he's thinking, not only am I having to face the fact that I'm being called racist, but this is to actually one of my friends. So, he got taken out of the firing line. He didn't play for a while, but he bounced back from it so well. Bernardo, mint man, unbelievable player, but I do think it's the right time. And I have a feeling that Bernardo will be happy with it. I have a feeling that Bernardo does know, and listen, his missus is going to be over the fucking moon because she's been trying
Oh
to get this for 5 years. So, I
That's.
just, yeah, go on.
I want to ask with if Silva go back to Benfica, do you want like their goalkeeper in return as a backup option if Ortega goes? The guy called Antony Turbin.
I don't know anything about him. Is he good?
Listen, I don't know anything about him as well, but
Oh, right.
from what I hear, if he's coming in, I'm in as a backup option. Would you like him as a backup option or no?
Well, we're going to have to. Do you know what I was thinking the other day? Ortega. Do you think that if Ortega, because there's a good chance Ortega might be our goalkeeper for the rest of the season, right? We
Yeah,
don't know when Edison's back at this point. So if Ortega say has a good 6 games, do you think there's any chance that City go, do you know what? He can be our number 1 next season.
no.
Right. Okay, cool. So if City don't, if Edison leaves and Ortega obviously will ask the club, what are your plans with me next season? And they say, we're bringing in another keeper. You're still going to be our number 2 keeper. Do you think Ortega wants to go?
Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
it's
Okay.
like
Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you.
it's the
So
it's the release clause too that he has. I think 30, 25, 30 million, and he had a lot of suitors last summer. Now this summer, I think he'll have less suitors based on the performances, but I think as well,
Apparently Leverkusen want him.
and if it's Leverkusen that wants him, I think he should jump on the train because he wants
Yeah.
to be the Manuel Neuer success, not successful but replacement for the Germany squad because he's been holding up that position for a long time. And
Yeah.
even if you look at the last international tournament, there's another goalkeeper that I can't remember the name. I think it was Koch or something like that. But
Yeah.
he started over Ortega, and that should raise
Yeah.
doubt and worries for him because if I can't get into the, as a second choice here while playing for Manchester City Football Club, that's going to spark concerns about him.
Yeah. And by the way, and this is the key, it's not that he's playing 1 or 2 games for Manchester City. He's over the last couple of seasons, he's said it himself. He's played enough games to, for Germany to take notice, and they haven't. I think the last chance would go back to Germany, go to Leverkusen. And then that leaves us in a position we need to bring in 2 goalkeepers. I've seen people mention Trafford, as in I've seen Alan say we should go and get Trafford, but I have not seen one single link to Trafford, so I can't see that happening. The goalkeeper one worries me. I'm still there saying, do our absolute best to make Edison feel happy and keep him, because I just worry about goalkeepers. But it seems like it's the right time. If Eddie goes, Bernie goes, De Bruyne goes, we're getting rid of a lot of experience, but it seems like it is happening. It does seem like it is happening.
Yeah. Before we go on to that, my number 1, Trafford, yeah, I'm sorry. That take it for me, I don't want Trafford at the football club because you're asking for experience, right? In that
Yeah.
position to replace anything. You get this guy here for a Champions League night, yeah. Anything can happen. This guy could make an abundance of errors. He could shit himself in the occasion. You don't know. Now I don't have a Costa that understands, or Chevalier that has played in the Champions League and understand the environment.
I'd take that Chevalier.
Yeah,
I'd take him.
yeah. For me, Chevalier all day, but they're going for Costa. Secondly, like you said about the rebuild and what's actually happening. I mean, we asked for this. We wanted this rebuild for a very long time, and everyone's like all the players that we all love. They all took a big hit on the wall this season, and they're all falling down, and they realize they can't get up as much. And now we have to get players that are energized, motivated to want to win titles, go for cups next season, and pick themselves up and just carry on that baton. And that's the whole point. Now, will some of the replacements be the ones he wants? I don't think so. Especially with Morgan Gibbs White, that people just don't like him at the moment. But for me,
tell you what, Morgan Gibbs. So I do a lot of shows with a guy called Wolfie from Nottingham Forest TV, right? And me and him were having a chat off air, and he was saying, "Look, Morgan Gibbs White is a 10. You don't want him." And he said, I would not mind if you get him, right? I'd sell him. He goes, I'd sell him 65 because Nuno won't use him. Nuno uses him in the 10 role. He says, actually, when I've seen him in the 8 role for Nottingham Forest, he's looked good. Now, last night, he was through on goal and his finishing's not great, Morgan Gibbs White. I would take him in the 8 role. And I'll be honest with you, I believe every rumour I see about it because he's English. And I think that English quota we're going to have to hit. So I think he is coming.
Yeah. You know what, yeah? And I think people have missed this. Have we seen Wolfie's? I think it was Wolfie's video on Saturday or Sunday after the links got out. From 1 minute 20 to 1 minute 40, he has said he's been speaking to City's content creators and basically been lying about them and playing it down.
What, he said that?
Yeah, go check it out.
What? That he's been lying about what?
That he's been musical downing where Gibbs White hype around just to make sure that we don't feel less confident on him as a footballer.
What? So he's actually saying he wants to keep him. What video is that on, please?
That's on what's called. It's on Forest Fan TV. And you want me to send it?
Yeah, bro. Please. Have you on? Have I got you on Instagram?
Yes, you got me on Instagram. Yes.
Could you send me it on Instagram, please? I need that.
Right now, everyone.
But bro, this is one thing because I speak to Wolfie off air as well, yeah, and he says things to me off air. Then I'll be on the stream an hour later, and he's going, "I'm not bothered. I'm not nervous." I'm thinking, "Hold on a minute. You told me you were nervous."
Hold on, let me just get off air first.
No, do it afterwards. It's all right. Do it afterwards. I need it for later on. Oh, have you gone? I need that though. Yeah, look, if we're talking just quickly, people, we're gonna go for probably another 10 more minutes. There is 142 of you in here, 147 now, 108 likes. That means round about 40 of you have not liked the video yet. Great ratio, but it can be better. Please smash the like button for Captain Dap Sparrow.
Yeah, I send it to you right now. So
lovely.
1 minute 20 to 1 minute 40. Yeah,
perfect. So, I guess with this rebuild and with the fact that we do think there's quite a few players going, I think it makes perfect sense to why Erling Haaland's been made captain recently. That Erling Haaland is being asked to step up and become part of the 5 leaders at City. I guess Rodri coming back, he's the experience that we're going to be leaning on. Ruben Diaz. Gundogan looks like he's going to stay for 1 more year. Again, probably I think Gundogan will know next season he's going to be a very bit part player, but probably big in the dressing room still. Who else? Do you know what? We have still got experience there, haven't we? Do you know what? You go as far as say Vardiel now. Vardiel's, this is Vardiel's, Vardiel's there for the treble season and was he there for the treble season? No, he wasn't. He came in afterwards. Yeah. Do you know what? I feel like Vardiel's been here longer. He hasn't been here that long. I feel like Vardiel's been here longer now.
You know what with Guardiola, yeah? He's just too elite. And every time you see him on the ball, you remind him as if he's been here for 5-6 years because the way he's matured in his game.
Integrated into the squad so well as well, to be fair.
And you know, you give credit to, you know, Marco Rose from RB Leipzig a few years ago, that we worked in the Champions League. I'll probably say you have to give massive credit to him because with him, he played a lot of defensive systems, especially back 3s, back 4s, back 5s. Yeah. And thus, Guardiola learned from that a lot, and that benefited Pep because I think Pep praised him a lot, especially with Marco Rose's setup in the press conference during his treble season. So, for me, listen, big up to him because he allowed him to get this maturity in his game and improve a lot more.
I actually was thinking this was his 3rd season. It's only his 2nd season, but he did integrate into the squad and integrate on and off the pitch really, really well, to be fair. I think, actually, do you know what? Do you know who's probably worth giving some credit on that as well is Kovacic. I think having Kovacic at the club probably helped him out as well, having another Croatian. To be fair, we're probably going to keep Kovacic as well. And, let me get your take. What's your take on Kovacic? Have you gone? He's gone, isn't he? Stinker and hooked. Oh, no, he's back.
I'm back now.
Back. What's your take
on myself? Yeah. Kovacic for me is a good ball rotating number 8. He retains the ball well. His retention is good. The thing with Kovacic is that He's a steady Eddie. If that makes
Yeah,
sense, you need players like him in your squad, and with the rich experience he has from Inter Milan, Madrid, Chelsea, especially that Champions League final they
yeah,
went
yeah,
to
yeah,
against us,
100%.
and
Yeah, yeah,
obviously, right now I see it benefits us. But the thing with him is that, and I get why Madrid has sold him, is the fact that he doesn't take it to the next level. And if you want Kovacic to take it to the next level, you can't really expect much that from him because he's very limited in his own abilities.
yeah,
Because if you look at the way he plays football, it looks like a five-a-side type of footballer. If you look at it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's stemmed across. And it's also funny, Croatia, yeah, their five-a-side is one of the best in Europe, especially in futsal. So they're churning out talent in attack, in midfield, even in defense, a lot more better because they've got great footballers. But
Yeah.
with him, it's just the fact that
So
go
this
on.
season, would you say? Because I personally think Kovacic. Look, Kovacic has had a couple of bad games right this season, but if we're going to do a couple of bad games, then every player in our squad has had a couple of bad games this season. Yeah,
Everyone
literally.
has. No,
I mean, if you're looking for City's player of the season, I would presume Haaland will get it.
nah, you
Uh,
have to Cavado.
Vardy could be right. So if we're putting three up there, actually it'll be released quite soon. If it isn't, who we've got to pick from, but it'll probably be Vardy or be in it. You're right. I think Kovacic should. Sorry, I think Haaland should be in it. Haaland should be in it. Anyone else?
You know what? Yeah, and I've been thinking about the third option a lot. Maybe the likes of Mamouche. And if it's
But
not
then, all right.
Mamouche,
But then in that case, if not Marmouche, right? Would you then not be saying? And this is mad. Nico O'Reilly. This is where we are, bro. Because at the moment, it's
yeah,
like
I get what you're saying. It's because of the fact that he's been consistent in the majority of the games he's
since he's
played.
played, since he's played,
Yeah, yeah.
because it's really. I mean, I would imagine the club will put Kevin De Bruyne in there.
Oh, for fuck's sake, no way. I
But
mean,
I
I
would
can see
imagine they
how.
will. I would imagine they
I
will.
can
And
see.
by the way, listen, if we don't win that FA Cup, I hear it because I can't have Kevin De Bruyne leaving us and in his last season him not have something to hold up, right? Something,
Yeah.
even if it's player of the season or something. But we are. But I actually do think Kovacic has had a fucking good. I can't use that word, but Kovacic has had a good season compared to everyone else. I actually think Kovacic has been quite good this season.
Yeah, I mean, the first of the season, especially when Rodri went down in, I think it's September, October, he was mint with Kovacic,
Yeah,
as we all know.
yeah, yeah,
But as he got injured, especially during that November time to December time, we struggled because we
yeah,
had no Rodri, we had no
yeah,
Kovacic. Gundogan, I mean, had to unfortunately hold on the fort because they had no pre-season at that moment. Obviously, not physically well, and then it's just it was a nightmare.
yeah, yeah. It
I
was. It
think
was.
people got so
Do
much.
you know what? A lot of that period where we were in bad form, Kovacic wasn't. Kovacic was injured. You know, quite a lot of
Yeah,
our bad form. Kovacic was injured. It was so. I personally think Kovacic is. I don't know how many years he's got left on his contract, but again, this is only, I believe, his. When did Cover come in? Cover came in after the treble as well, didn't he?
yes, he came in
Yeah, so
last
this is his
season.
second season. Yeah, so he's going to have a few more years on his contract. I'd be keeping Cover 100%, and then there is your experience as well. So all of a sudden, if we're actually saying, "Oh, we're losing a lot of experience," if we are keeping straight away Diaz, we are keeping Rodri, we are keeping Kovacic, we are probably keeping Gundogan, we are keeping Haaland. There's some experience there. You've also then got to throw in the mixer. We're probably going to keep one of Akanji, Stones, or Ake at least, right? There's a bit more
Yeah,
experience. And then you do need to refresh this team with players that are hungry and want to win stuff. So yeah,
you know
well,
what? Yeah,
yeah,
go on.
go on.
Yeah,
No, no,
I'll go
no.
on. Yeah, you know, with the defensive line, yeah, and especially if you get either two wing backs or full backs, whichever the club chooses, we'll have around 11 defenders, and
Yeah,
probably nine of them will be centre backs.
yeah,
My problem is not all of them will play, so someone has to go.
yeah, yeah. Facts, facts.
And even in midfield, it's like I know Nunes played as a right back, but he's closer to the midfielder. So
Yeah,
3 out of 5 of the midfield, whether it's Nunes, Gundogan, Kovacic, De Bruyne, I think I'm missing someone now, but
No,
Silva
no.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 3 out of 5 will easily go. And I think with Nunes, you can get cash. I know you
Yes.
are,
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
and even with Kovacic, I think people won't like this, but even with Kovacic, you can get cash for him too. Gundogan probably not, but if you look at Gundogan and Kovacic, they're attracting a lot of interest from Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and
I
don't
don't.
think
I'd sell
if they want to
Nunes
go for
over
it.
Kovacic all day long. I'd sell Nunes over Kovacic all day long. But I do hear you. I do think with the centre backs, so Kanji, Ake, Stones, like I said, Stones cult hero, love him to bits. Game time. I'd love it if we could sell Stones. I don't think we'll be able to get any money. I don't think anyone's going to be able to pay his wage. I think the more likely of them is either Ake or Akanji, just because of the fact that their wages aren't as much as John Stones is. So and Akanji's a little bit younger, I believe, as well. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But listen, Dash, really appreciate you
Yeah,
coming on and appreciate your job as a mod as well. Don't worry, I
yeah,
know it's not you that's blocking everyone.
yeah.
But no,
No,
really appreciate
yeah.
you joining me. And hopefully you'll join in again soon because these shows are every day.
Well, I'll see, mate, because I don't usually wake up at 9 in the morning. It's probably
Oh,
11
really?
o'clock
Oh, is
just
that what
right
it is?
now.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, maybe you need to.
I'm a late sleeper, man. I probably won't be on anyway as much, but listen,
Well,
thank you very
appreciate
much.
you.
And
Appreciate it. Nice to chat face to face with you.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Love,
Anyway, take care, mate.
mad love for Dash. Yes, yes. Right. How do I? There we go. Perfect. Right then. So Villa tonight. I am nervous. I am going to go for a nervous walk now. As I said, at 12 o'clock, I will be on Never a Foul. Let me just check. I believe I am redirecting, but let me just check. I've got the redirect already on. Where's YouTube? YouTube. Come on. Your videos. Yeah, it's in there. So this is going to redirect over to Never a Foul. I will be on Never a Foul at 12 p.m. with the usual panel. Cass is going to be getting gas. Cass is back. Anyone that does watch Never a Foul, he's been ill for a while. Conveniently, Cass, and I know you can hear me out there, Cass is back when Man United look like they're going to be buying Cunha and the other guy that I really like as well. So, yeah. He will be back gassing that up. Monts will be there talking Liverpool, but the usual lot. So I want all you City lot over there, please. This is going to redirect over there. If you could stay where you are for one more minute, redirect over there. Put South Stand Raid in the comments and hit the like button. And also, if you could drop a comment on this video after this video ends, saying Captain Dap Sparrow, yes, yes. I will be back on We Are the South Stand at round about 2:30 with a Villa fan and with Tone. Until then, thank you for streaming. Thank you for watching, and we are out.